On today's Glory Days show, the race for the Stanley Cup is in full swing as both the Islanders and the Rangers mix it up with the Capitals and the Penguins.
And we've got wall-to-wall hockey talk today with Pete Torgerson on the hotline to get us caught up with what's going on with all the playoff series around the NHL.
And as the Islanders come home to Nassau Coliseum for games 3 and 4 this week, we'll talk to Islanders blogger Bryan Gallof.
And as an extra special treat, later on in the show, we'll hear from our good friend, Dr. Carolyne.
Very nice.
The best hour of your sports week is coming up right now.
InReview.com.
Hello again, everybody. Today is Saturday, April 18th, 2015, and you are watching the Glory Days show with Bruce Diso. My name is Paul Scafani. This is my good friend, Bruce Oler. Kyle Melnick and Bonnie Schultz are behind the glass today. And you are joining us on the InReview TV network, broadcasting to the world from the InReview studios at the Village Music Shoppy right here in beautiful Mastic, Long Island in the great state of New York. Hey, we finally got a good day.
Yeah, it's beautiful out.
Right? It's like a real, you were just saying how you want to go to the beach.
I think I'm going to do that on the way home. I think, honey, I won't be home quite on regular
Remember
time.
cutting out from school and going to the beach, taking a six-pack of soda,
Of
and
course.
going to the beach, going down to the beach for the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
That was, and there's no reason why we can't still do that.
That's right.
We're adults. We're allowed now. All right. Right after this break, we're out of here.
School is out.
School's out for summer, baby. Oh, so this was a pretty cool week. The Mets don't seem to be able to lose.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't want to say that too loud.
Bartolo Colon is hitting the ball too, man.
The greatest softball pitcher in Major League Baseball history.
Unbelievable.
The guy who loves him, Kevin James, the comedian.
Oh, sure.
The comedian Kevin James was at Citi Field on Tuesday.
You went Tuesday night.
Yeah, and he was on the screen, and they were interviewing him about Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
Yeah, okay.
Right? And he took batting practice with the Mets.
Kevin James did,
Yeah,
yeah.
he is. He's a big Met fan.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how his favorite Met right now is obviously Bartolo Colon.
Who speaks to us through an interpreter, by the way. You
Still,
know?
right? He's been pitching since 2000.
Unbelievable.
And he still speaks to an interpreter. I don't believe that.
I know.
I don't believe he can't, But anyway. So, hockey.
Yeah, well, it was a little disappointing to the Islanders lose last night. After playing such a great game in Game 1. We'll talk to Bryan about that in a little while.
They played a great game for a period in 3 quarters.
Yeah.
But in that second period, there was that point. And we're going to talk to Bryan Gallof about this in a few minutes. But there was that point in that second period when all of a sudden it looked like Washington was on a perpetual power play.
Yeah, yeah.
They would just pass back behind the net, back to
Well,
the point,
and the
behind net, back
Islanders,
to the point.
one of the guys broke a stick, right?
Yeah, again, there were two
Right.
goals they scored when Islanders broke sticks.
Yeah.
What's going on with sticks?
Yeah, I don't know. Think Pete will know something about that?
Pete must
Pete
know.
knows Pete
knows
knows everything.
everything.
He knows everything. That's right.
So we're going to talk about hockey all day today because baseball is 12 games, 10 games into the season.
That's right. There's a lot of baseball, but the Mets are playing well, as you said.
It's really nice to see. They're undefeated at Citi Field.
Yeah. Okay.
Which they've never had. 2009 was the first year. 2010 was the first year. Never had a winning record at home.
Okay.
Granted, they've had a lot of very bad seasons.
Yeah.
Since they went
6-0,
to City
and they have their two aces going back to back. They got DeGrom today,
Right. And then
and
Harvey.
we have Matt Harvey tomorrow.
So we're looking
I mean,
at,
it could be 8. Very easily, it could be 8 in a row.
That would be wonderful, wouldn't it?
It would be.
So we'll talk to Pete about all the series.
Yeah, I'm interested in hearing what he thinks about what happened with Subban.
I was going to talk to my mother about Subban. Sorry, that's an inside joke.
Okay, yeah.
But anyway, and we'll have B.D. Gallof on today, and then later on, I got a text out of the blue from Carolyne Moss. She wants to come on and talk about something today. So
Okay.
I said, okay, we'll talk to her, find out what's going
Carolyne
on with our
Moss
lives.
is an Islander, Long Islander.
Absolutely.
I'm sure she's rooting for the Islanders.
And she's an Islander fan. She told us that's why we could have her on the show.
That's right.
Because it's a sports show. And she's
With a twist.
She loves sports. So we'll have her on today. But the fun thing was, I did go to the Met game. It's the first time.
Tuesday night.
Right, Tuesday night. Do you know that they put a gigantic scoreboard, a gigantic video board in where the old video board was? Because remember, there was the board where the scoreboard is.
Yeah.
They had the lineups and whatever. And then they had like a video board.
Mm-hmm.
They have one now that's gigantic.
Yeah.
I think it could be seen from space. It's just gigantic. And
so what's that, up by the Apple or what?
yeah, it's directly above the Apple.
Okay.
It's directly above the Apple. This thing is gigantic.
I see. Be good for concerts, I guess, too, then, right?
I would think so. But it's just such a different atmosphere. First of all, Harvey was pitching. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
So
second
it was a
night,
big
it was
crowd.
nearly a sellout.
It was a big crowd anyway. But man, what an atmosphere.
Yeah.
People were losing their minds in the first 2 innings.
We were talking a little about Matt Harvey plunking the guy of the Phillies.
Utley.
Utley, that's right, Chase Utley.
It's Utley.
And,
Well, Utley had hit a home run off him.
Yeah.
Then he had another hit.
But, so two Mets got hit, and then, Harvey drills, and he hit him with a fastball in the back, right?
Yeah. Well, what happened was just before that happened.
Yeah.
He threw up and in
Mm-hmm.
to somebody, and he got out of the way, and I forget who it was. And they said it grazed his jersey, and they awarded him first base. And Harvey was really mad, and I kept saying, well, if you really want to get first base, he should really hit somebody, right? Then they had an open base, and Utley came up, and Dan Warthen came out, right? And some guy behind me says, "Don't walk him, just hit him." And we all laughed, and sure enough, boom!
Wow.
96-mile-per-hour fastball right in the back, saving 3 pitches.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, it's a little bravado for him doing that, but he has to bat too. So I think he needs to be a little careful about just throwing at people.
Yeah. But it's a fun time to be a Met fan.
It is. It is. Like you say, it's a long season. A lot of things can happen, but they're playing good baseball.
When
right
do you
now.
think we start drinking the Kool-Aid?
May 1st.
May 1st. Okay. We will be drinking Met Kool-Aid on the air here.
Yeah.
We'll bring in blue Kool-Aid.
Maybe we can make it with that water that you got from the Coliseum.
I didn't pick it
Ice.
up. I got to get Jimmy. I owe you a visit. I got to get the Coliseum. That would be good. We mixed a little of that water in.
There we go. It's beautiful.
And we'll get a glass of blue and orange.
And we'll have
Kool-Aid.
doctors on standby just in case something happens.
All right. You know what? Let's take a break.
All right. Sounds
Let's
good.
take a break. We're just getting started here. Right after the break, we'll get Alan the blogger Bryan Gallof on the hotline, and we'll talk about their playoff series with Washington and get his thoughts on the impending move to Brooklyn. Later on, we'll hear from our good buddy Pete Torgerson about the rest of the Stanley Cup playoff matchups. Stay with us. You're watching The Glory Day Show with Bruce Diso, only on the Radio TV Network. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit hansoncarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com.
Welcome back to the Glory Days Show with Bruce Diso here on the InRavio TV network. Bryan Gallof is a Twitter master.
Twitter master. Wow, okay.
And he blogs about the Islanders and hockey in general for the fourth period. Mm-hmm. I believe that he bleeds blue and orange.
Much
just
like we do. Okay.
And he got to take in the final regular season game at Nassau Coliseum last Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So we got him on the phone. Please
All right, we got the
welcome
thumbs
back
up
to the
there.
program, Bryan Gallof. Bryan, you there?
I am here.
Hey, you know, I happened to, welcome back to the show, by the way. Thanks for taking time out today.
Great to be here.
I saw your post this morning that you were enjoying a cigar at 9 o'clock in the morning.
I started early. I have a friend who works senior editor of Cigar Aficionado, so I get very spoiled and I get a lot of high-end stuff.
Nice.
What were you smoking this morning?
For a Tatuaje Petit Robusto. It's something I wouldn't necessarily buy because it's a little pricey. But as for a small cigar, it's actually very good. Usually small cigars are not that good.
Yeah,
And that's why I love
say,
that,
if it's free, it's for me.
I love that picture of
Exactly,
you smoking the cigar.
So he's bringing over the top cigars of last year because I missed most of them. So.
Oh, that's
And that
you
is
know
your
what?
cigar there. That's very nice. Very nice. We got the graphic up there. Wow.
That's a good friend to have.
Yes, it is. We used to work together, so every so often, every summer, there's a couple of grilling parties, and he comes by and brings, asks me if I need more cigars, and I'm like, yes. Why, yes, I do. But
Now that you mentioned it.
You get really spoiled because once you, it's like anything. If you drink a really good wine, or if you have really good food or something like that, it changed your palate.
Yeah.
So we got very cigar snobby, my brothers and I.
It raises the
thanks to
bar.
him.
Well, no, I have to say, I'm definitely not a cigar aficionado, but in the last year or so, I've gotten back into smoking cigars, and there's nothing I enjoy more than grabbing a cigar and a glass of wine now, and I know that sounds strange to people who know me, but I go grab a cigar and a glass of wine, and I sit out on my porch with the dog, because my wife won't sit with me.
That's exactly what I just did.
My wife won't sit with me because she doesn't like the cigar smoke. But the cigars I've been smoking lately, I've been smoking some of those high-end cigars. My son...
They smell better, right?
Yeah, they actually smell better.
They are better. There's something to be said, and it's really true. Yes, you'll find some that are really good quality, that have good bang for the buck.
Right.
Maybe I've noticed like Don Pepin, anything that guy does. Sometimes he does inexpensive ones, and sometimes he has high-end ones. But whatever he does tends to be very good. But otherwise, if it's pricey and it's well reviewed, it's a good thing to try to see how your palate is, and then you're able to kind of figure out what you like and what you dislike.
So what has this got to do with the Islanders?
It's got nothing to do with
Not a
that.
whole lot after last night, but
So let's
they
talk-
squandered a really good opportunity where the goalie has the flu. They bring up the AHL guy, and then yes, they scored a couple, but they didn't really play all that well. And their key is really the possession game, and that key is keeping the puck possession. So they're in the Capitals' offensive zone.
Yeah.
And that produces what has turned out, as the season has gone on, a very elite offense because they're doing that.
Right.
And they didn't do any of that yesterday. And in fact, it was the opposite. The Capitals constantly had them in their own defensive zone. And that is the recipe of disaster.
You know,
It was
like-
unbelievable
those are games
watching
they're not
how
gonna
they
win.
would set up, you know,
Right.
and the Islanders just could not get the puck away from
It
them.
was like after they took that 3-1 lead late in that second period, it was like the Capitals were on a perpetual power play.
Yeah.
No matter
Yeah.
what line the Islanders put out there.
Yep.
Those broken sticks didn't help either, though.
Yeah, it's so true. It basically, they imposed their will, and the Islanders were on their heels. So, they made a play. They played modestly well until that second period, but even right before they scored that third goal, things was starting to turn.
Right.
And the Capitals were just, that's what the Capitals are. They're a very high-powered offense.
Well, they had actually the play that led up to the Oposo goal that made it 3-1. The Capitals had come down on a 3-on-1 break, and I forget who was leading with the puck. Instead of passing it forward to the guy that was open, he had passed it back to Ovechkin. And Ovechkin then tried to get it to the lead guy, but by then it was too late, and the Islanders came right down, and Oposo made it 3-1. So, yeah, you're right. The Capitals were starting to turn the game
really
around.
push,
And
and
they
then they
didn't really
kept on.
seem fazed by that third goal. It didn't seem to bother them.
No, because they know.
What's the
They
name of
know
your
that,
dog, Ranger?
Yeah,
Duffy
hold
the
on. Hold on 1 second. They didn't. It wasn't their type of game. Once Capitals just kept on rolling out.
But
And
now
they
what-
didn't have
so-
an answer for it.
So what do you think happens now? I mean, does something like this change the momentum of a series? I mean, or do the
No,
Islanders?
I don't think so. I think that for them, they played. The Capitals played the kind of game they should have played in the first one.
So they're playing tomorrow at noon. That should be.
Tomorrow at noon.
That's an interesting game time start. Well, you going to be at the game there,
No,
Brian?
not for tomorrow. I'm
No?
not going to be available. I'm starting a new position on Monday, so I need to kind of prepare.
I see.
So this week is really not a good start for me to be able to cover the games.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a little bit from afar. I'll see you in two.
Now you went to the last regular season game last
Yep.
week. Is that right?
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I was very disappointed in what they did as far as the ceremony goes. I thought the thing they did the week before with the Decades team, that was a cool thing. And it was really kind of left me cold. I mean, bringing out the Arbor family because Al's not there to drop the puck. I just didn't get much out of it.
Yeah. Well, the problem is you can't have Al and then Torrey is still working.
Yeah.
It's just one that doesn't really lead to itself. They're trying to do a little something, and I don't think they could do what they intended, and they just did the best that they could.
You know,
Is it
can
the
I-
proper season closure?
Well, you know what?
In
It was
hindsight,
right. Go ahead.
keeps going, at the Coliseum, then it won't matter as much as the closure is going to be the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right, but the problem is with the playoffs, we don't know when the
Yeah,
last game is going
it's
to be.
unpredictable.
This was the
Yep.
only thing that we knew, and we knew that this was going to be the last regular season home game. And I really would have liked to have seen them do something that they did on the Saturday Night Live, the 40th anniversary of Saturday Night Live. I think they just should have invited everybody who's ever played for the Islanders, if they wanted to come. Now, they didn't have to have a ceremony where they introduce each person and they whatever, but just at the end of
Just
the
have them
ceremony,
there.
how great of a picture would it have been if they had every one of those guys that had ever played for the Islanders come out,
Yeah.
bring a Stanley Cup out with them, maybe they could have got the NHL to let them have the Stanley Cup, and take a nice picture, for all that would have been the send-off for the building.
Yeah.
Because that's what that evening should have been all about,
I would agree with that. I think that they're a little distracted. Also, they're also in transition. A lot of the business end
Yeah.
of the organization has already been picked up by Barclays.
Right.
Now, I hate to say this, we talked about this last night. You know, if that was the Rangers closing out the Garden,
Oh, my God. Could
that's
you imagine?
exactly what they would have done. You know, it would have been
Yes,
over the top
exactly.
and big. You
Right.
know,
And the thing is that the closing out of the Garden has, you know, the thing about Nassau Coliseum, and I found this, and I'm still struggling to write my goodbye Nassau piece. I've written it, and I'm not happy with it, and I've had a lot of struggle with it because it's such a mixture of emotion,
Yes.
of the history, and yes, there are memorable moments, but there's also a lot of basically crap that fans have dealt with, and a very, very bitter taste that has to be in any fan's mouth of what has been done with the Coliseum and the infighting that's still going on.
And exactly.
Not
What's led
everybody's
us to
convinced
this?
that they'll even build anything.
What led us to this is political crap.
well, and that's what I'm trying to think it was on MSG. You know, he said it never had to come down to this.
It should
you know?
have. And now all of a sudden, Bill, did you see the thing in the paper this week of what, the complex that they've signed on to build? It's not that much different from what they said they didn't want to build.
Yeah.
And Charles Wang was going to pay for that.
So, Brian,
Instead, we're going to
But
pay
that
for
was,
this.
Bryan.
It was a political blockade over that,
Yeah.
and I'll go into that in the in my final piece. I'll let everybody know.
will you?
But,
Have you been? You must have been to some concerts there too. I would sprinkle some concerts in there too,
Right.
For a little levity, you know.
yeah, but
You're not buying
you
it,
know,
huh? Okay.
Yeah, the most memorable moments for me in growing up is I wasn't somebody. My wife was a season ticket holder. I wasn't a season ticket holder. I would, you know, catch a game or two, and a lot of times I would get playoff tickets. But for me, the most memorable moments of the Coliseum is actually during my writing life of the last 8 years of being able to be behind the scenes.
Yeah. Okay.
And the things that go on there, like the one of the things that I'll go into is the infamous Ranger Islander game, where there was the fight between Montoya and Rick DiPietro.
Yeah, that's right.
And in the back room, and Chris Botta wrote about this, but I was there to witness this as well. Is when Avery threatened Garth Snow to try to fight in the back room, and in the locker room on the way out, and the Ranger players are trying to shuffle him out the door. And Brendan Shanahan, who now runs Toronto, is basically apologetic and goes, "See what I have to deal with."
You see, for guys like us, like our age,
these are the memorable moments of the Coliseum that I won't forget.
see, for guys like us our age, and especially for me, my memorable moments outside of the actual sporting event itself was just being able to go to the Nassau Coliseum by myself.
Yeah.
It was the first time my parents were able...
Independence Day.
Independence Day, right.
Yeah.
The first time my parents ever dropped me off at some sort of a major public place. And I was able to, so I guess you kind of say you grew up in the Nassau
Yeah,
Coliseum.
yeah,
You
it's
know,
pretty
It was a
you
fabric
took a
of
step.
everybody
It was a
growing
real
up,
step.
Whether they saw a concert or a circus. I take the kids over to the circus there the last couple of years, which puts me to sleep. But that's for them. It's something that's
right.
formative for their years.
Yeah.
All right, Brian, we're
and-
running out of time.
So we'll look for your blog on your bittersweet memories of the Nassau Coliseum. Looking forward to the
I'll
Islanders
probably
winning
end up
tomorrow.
putting it on the fourth period. I have to check with them, but I got to finally just finish it up. I guess the playoffs is a good opportunity.
All right.
Besides the wrap up to put that up.
All right,
great.
Brian, thanks a lot.
Talk to you
A
soon.
pleasure.
We'll talk to you soon, and good luck. Hopefully, hopefully we get you back on in a week or so, and the Islanders are still alive.
Yeah.
I'll happily be on either
right,
way,
thank you.
or we'll do a post-mortem.
Hey, quick prediction. What's going to happen? 3 out of 5. Who wins?
I still think that the Islanders have what it takes
Okay.
to take out the Capitals, but they really need to find the possession game again. They got to be in the offensive zone.
All righty, man.
All right.
Thanks,
Take care.
Brian.
All right. So let's take a break. When we get back, we'll talk about the rest of the NHL playoff series with Pete Torgerson. You're watching the Glory Days show with Bruce and Disco, only on the Radio TV network. Coming right back.
Transmission of lice occurs from being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like catching a cold or the flu.
You have guaranteed peace of mind in every bottle of Got Lice because all of our products are completely natural.
And organic.
But strong enough to cover all your lice removal needs while being safe and effective. Our professional technicians are specially trained with our exclusive proven technique to successfully comb out head lice. We come right to your home at your convenience.
Whenever you want us.
We bring everything needed to perform a successful and complete comb out while eliminating your head lice. And we leave you with our exclusive complimentary products to use for the next 10 days following our treatment.
For free.
Our technicians also check all family members who have been exposed to lice. Please visit us on our website today at gotlice.co or feel free to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 646-257-0121.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com. For over 60 years, Hansen Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hansen Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansenCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hansen Carpet has got you covered.
Hey, I'm Raul Panther.
And I'm Commander B. Hawkins.
And I'm Russ Willett. We're some of the proto men. If we see you without this bracelet, you're punching the But if you have this bracelet from InRavio.com, you can win $100.
Put one of these on, or else.
Hey, this is Chris Les Jake, and if InRavio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Welcome back to the Glory Days Show with Bruce and Disco here on the InRavio TV network. Last week, former Patriots tight end Aaron Hernandez was convicted in the murder of Odin Lloyd and sentenced to life in prison without parole. He immediately became a close neighbor of our next guest as Hernandez moves to our guest's hometown of Walpole, Massachusetts. Please welcome back to the program, Pete Torgerson.
Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
I was waiting for the clapping, man. I don't know.
That's the whole thing, We build up this intro,
Yeah.
and then there's no applause. We need applause.
Pete,
from
you
now
need to
on.
clap for yourself, man.
Jesus, what's going on here? I don't know how I'm going to follow up on that good circus talk.
We even had circus talk last week. Last week we had a friend of ours who's a plumber. He was at Nassau Coliseum during the lead up to the last game, and he was telling us a story about going into the Nassau Coliseum when they have the circus there, and that he walked into a room filled with elephants' behinds. He says that's all he saw. So
yeah, good thing he didn't go into the Tigers' room. That's all. Yeah, so I got a new neighbor this week. I haven't been over to see him yet, but hopefully he's doing fine.
Who?
Mr. Hernandez.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well, you have to at least say hello.
Yeah, I'm going to make him a cake with a file in it.
The game of life I saw there, Pete, huh? You know?
Yeah.
You know, we were
Life
talking
cereal.
about it. We were talking about it yesterday. Bruce and I, we went to watch the hockey game yesterday, and I was talking about how, you know, now he's been convicted for life with no chance of parole.
Yeah.
Right? So they're going to put him on trial again for a double murder. What's the point of that? What are they going to do?
Give him 10 life sentences. Just to, wait. They've never got after the ones that the people he killed down in Gainesville. Like his third week there, he was in on a murder down there. The guy's an animal. I bet you there's bodies all over the place. And then when he got arrested, all these associates of his were getting hit on mopeds and every other thing. You know, coincidence? I don't think so. This guy's a psychopath.
Oh my goodness! But he was a good tight end.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
so
I guess-
let's talk
Go ahead.
about the NHL playoffs. Now I know that you have been glued to your TV, watching every game because you want to be a good correspondent for this show.
Absolutely. Plus, it's the best time of the year. Oh my God, these games are outstanding.
They've been.
So what's jumped out at you so far there, Pete?
Well, one of the biggest things I think is Chicago has a goaltending problem.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They've got to make a move now, especially after yesterday.
Yeah.
Detroit made a move. They're playing their second-string goalie, who they were outshot 46-14 the other night, and they won.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in a better spot than many. I think the Islanders are in a good spot. I think they got to add a little more grit. Disco, the night we were at the Kings game,
right?
They kept rolling that fourth line out there. I think their other line's got to play tougher like they did that night. And
Right, and
I
we
wouldn't
talked
be surprised
about-
if we see McDonald in the lineup tomorrow afternoon.
Right,
You know,
we talked a little bit that night about how big the Kings are and what a strong team. And you know, my first thought watching this Islander Capitals, the first game, was that the Islanders look like high school players and they look like college players.
Yeah,
there
bigger.
was just such a
bigger
difference
team.
between the teams. And like Bruce said, you know, I understand that you can't hit what you can't catch. But
but if you do, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble. But what they were showing us,
that was the problem last night. They stopped moving their feet.
Yeah.
Right.
Standing around, they're waiting for things to happen, and they're going to get run over.
And what is with all
when you're
the
when you're smaller than like that, you stop moving your feet, then you're in trouble, and that's what happened. They were on their heels all night last night because they weren't moving their feet. Plain and simple.
What is with all
They'll tell you the same thing.
What is with all the broken sticks that are going on?
They should go back to wooden sticks. I hate these things.
Yeah.
If I was a coach in the NHL, all my defensemen would use wooden sticks.
Both of the last two Washington goals were both scored with an Islander that had a broken stick, still on the ice because obviously, you know, they just couldn't get out. They couldn't get out of the zone to get something, to get another stick. But I just don't know.
You know, Pete, you know, of all the things that stuck out in your mind, you didn't mention PK Subban.
Well, let me tell you something. I still like Ottawa in that series. I think the Hamburglers going to pull it off.
You think
They're
so?
going back to Ottawa. Montreal didn't kill him. Subban's a joke. You know, if you're going to be an elite player in the league, don't act like you're, you know, on a high school team, you know, jumping around. Even when the guy makes the calls the slash penalty on him, you know, just go to the box. Don't jump up in the air. Don't dance around. And then they throw him out. Then he's down in the hallway. You know, look at me, look at me, look at me. That's what it should say. It shouldn't say Subban on the back of his shirt. It should say, look at me. So,
the word I like to use to describe a guy like that,
he's a clown.
He's a knucklehead, is what he is.
Yeah. And you know who another one is? Ribeiro on Nashville.
Yeah.
You know, they just do stupid things, stupid play.
All right, so you like
Perron on Pittsburgh, same thing. There's a reason why these guys are on 12 teams. They do stupid things. They don't take care of business, and they all got the look at me mentality because their mother's been carrying their hockey bags to the rinks for 20 years.
So you like Ottawa in this series? I like Montreal. You know, Mr. B, who'd you like in this series?
I like Montreal.
You know what? Montreal, they believe the hype. You know, like Chuck D from Public Enemy used to say, "Don't believe the hype." These guys believe the hype.
Got to fight the power.
You think they won the Stanley Cup when they score a goal?
Yeah, that is true.
In the arrow, then they're all piling on each other. Guys, it's the first series. You know, the second period of a game. You got a long way to go. You can't act like clowns every time. Act like you've been there, like Joe Paterno used to say. They don't. It's amazing, these guys.
Let's talk
That's
about.
Why they will not win a Stanley Cup. They will not win a Stanley Cup just for that.
Let's talk about the Rangers and Pittsburgh for a second.
That's over. That's the bust.
You think that's done? Pittsburgh's not coming back?
Pittsburgh's done. Put the fork in him. Fleury does all that he can. You know what? Pittsburgh might have to do something. They might have to blow this up. Maybe Ovechkin for Crosby or something, because if they don't do it, if they don't get out, they're not going to get out of this first round. And is it time to make a move with Fleury? But I like him. I think he's a great goalie. But somebody's head's got to roll here, and they got to. They blew up Shiro before that, but I don't know. They just don't have it anymore. And Crosby's another one. He's a top 3 player in the league, and he cries every play. He cries.
He is a princess. Did you? Who do you like? You like the Rangers?
Yeah, I have to like the Rangers.
I'm going to go the opposite direction only because it just hurts me to root for the Rangers. All right, your Tampa Bay boys.
Yeah, they
got to come, but they got to win this game tonight. You can't go back to Detroit down 0-2.
No question, but it's not like they played crummy the other night. They outshot them 46-14,
yeah.
and the goalie stood on his head. Stamkos is going to come through tonight. He's going to have 2 goals. So if you're doing DraftKings hockey, pick him up early. Boyle had a great game the other night. They just couldn't finish it off. So
I still think they're going to win this series, Tampa.
Yeah.
Who do you like?
Question.
I like
Mr.
Tampa.
B.
I like Tampa.
All right, so we're all going with that. All right, then do we all think that the Islanders are going to win this series?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all going with the Islanders.
Hey, one person I don't give enough credit is Ovechkin. He scored 50 goals again this year, and I'm like a half and half on him.
Yeah.
When he's brutal, but when he's playing,
my God,
if he played in the Mike Bossy with Wayne Gretzky, he'd be scoring 80 goals a year. He's sniping on these goalies. He's banging out 50 every year. He's dangerous.
You know what? He is a very strong person. He's a big guy. He's not afraid to throw his body around. And he's very difficult to move off the puck.
You were saying he's a throwback to like the old Russian players
right,
when they
that's
had
what he
that
reminds
Red
me
Army
of.
team.
He reminds me of a guy that would have been perfect on that Red Army team. That's right.
Yeah.
All right, let's look to the West real fast. Anaheim and Winnipeg. Any chance?
Yes. Yeah. Don't count Winnipeg out.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. I'm not. Again, I'm not convinced with Anaheim. I don't know.
But you got to make a prediction.
I don't know.
You got to give me a prediction. Who wins the series?
Winnipeg.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's an upset. What do you think?
I'll go with Anaheim.
All right, I'm doing that too. All right, Vancouver, Calgary. We wanted to talk to you about that fight last night.
That's awesome. You know what? It just proves again that Vancouver's not tough enough.
All right, now here's a question. Now I know that it's 1-1. I think Calgary's going to win this series. I don't know why, but that's who I'm thinking.
You going with Calgary? Yeah.
Yes.
As am I.
Mr. B? All right. Now,
Yeah,
quick question. I
don't think the Stadium Brothers can get you over the hump.
I need a referee 101 lesson here.
Go ahead.
Okay, last night during that fight, there were 5 pair-offs.
Yep.
Okay, everybody was paired off.
Dances.
The 2 linesmen were trying to break up 2 of the fights.
Right.
Now, the referees, they can't really break up fights, right? They have to be able to be watching what's going on.
Yeah, but if somebody's getting their head cracked on the ice, which they don't do anymore,
okay,
they can get involved. Basically, when that's going on, and there's fights everywhere, you just go, you try to get the linesman to the one that is the most uneven, or the hot and heaviest one, or if the hot and heavy one, let them go and let them just pound each other till they're done. The refs, you can go over, like the refs can go over, and 2 guys are just holding each other and throwing a few punches and tell them, hey, listen, you're all right now, but let go of each other. If not, I'm throwing you out for this game and the next game. So use your head. You decide. Ball's in your court. Put the onus on the players.
All right, now St. Louis and Minnesota, we already know that you like Minnesota, and they won the first game of that series.
I do too.
I wish this was the finals.
What?
I wish this was the finals.
Yeah. This is going to be unbelievable. Now for Nashville
3 o'clock today, by the way.
Nashville
nice
and
game to watch this afternoon.
Nashville and Chicago.
Got to go with Nashville. With Chicago's having these goalie problems,
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to make a change. They got to go with the backup.
Who do you like, Nashville or Chicago?
I like Nashville.
All right, we're all going with the same thing.
Yeah, Kane's back. He's playing great. Sharp scored a nice goal. never count the Red Wings out, but I think if they don't act now and put the backup goalie in, it could get real ugly for him.
All righty, man. We're out of time here.
All right. I'll say hi to Aaron when I go by.
Okay, do that, Pete.
Tell him if he hears two beeps, that's me.
Hey, if you're gonna be around on Tuesday, let me know. I got tickets for the game. It cost me a lot of cash on StubHub.
I think they call that an arm and a leg.
Yeah, I think it was more like 2 arms and a leg.
Okay.
But it cost me a lot of money on StubHub. But I'm going with Kevin on Tuesday night. So if you're around, I'll meet you beforehand. And who knows?
I won't be, but I'm saving up my points here for the Ranger Islander series.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
See, I'm positive thinking on that one.
All righty, man. We'll talk.
All right, Islanders need some grit. That's all it comes down to.
Right.
All righty, Pete. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
That's our good pal, Pete Torgerson. Time for another break here on Glory Days. When we get back, a good friend of the show, rocker Carolyne Moss, will be on the line.
Yeah.
Calling from Arizona. Stay with us. You're watching the Glory Days show with Bruce Diso, only on the Radio TV network. Coming right back, Carolyne Moss. You can't miss it.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered.
Hey, this is Chris Jake, and if InRavio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Glory Days show with Bruce Diso here on the InRavio TV network. We're trying to get Carolyne Moss on the phone, and no luck. Alrighty, we're gonna.
Well, if Carolyne Moss was here,
if Carolyne Moss was here,
here's what she would tell you.
Here's what she would tell you. No, I was hoping that we would get a. If you're watching, 1-855-446-7284, you could call in.
Yes.
And I don't know what happened. I guess we're not getting a number.
Okay.
Oh well. So now what do we do?
This is going to become a aerobics show, okay? You know. I don't know.
Well, I just don't know.
We talked about the Mets. Talked about hockey.
Can we put up a Carolyne Moss graphic just because we have some? Hey, see, that's Bruce and myself about 30 years ago.
That's right, in the New York Tech gymnasium there. New
York Tech gymnasium when we interviewed her.
Yeah, Carolyne, look at that other picture. She's got much longer hair than the other shot.
Yeah, she does. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Anyway, all right, you know what? We are a sports show. So and I always come prepared with things that we could talk about.
Okay.
Although I didn't come prepared this week. When I No, you know, we could, let's go back to baseball.
Okay.
Okay. We talked about Matt Harvey hitting Chase Utley, okay, and whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I told you, I thought it was a bad thing. You know what I mean? I mean, it shows that bravado. You know, here's a question I need to find out. How does he get the name The Dark Knight? Do you know?
No, that's a good question.
I don't get that. You know, what's it? Because he's Batman? Is his Gotham? I guess. I mean, you know.
I guess. Well, you know what? He came to power.
Yeah.
During
Came to power. Okay. Jeez.
He kind of came to power during the when the final Dark Knight Rises movie came out.
Oh, is that what it was?
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I think there was some sort of a tie-in.
Parallel there? Okay.
Yeah, there was some sort of a tie-in.
I see.
Between them, and that's probably why. I mean, I don't know. Who knows?
But like I say, you know, him plunking it was good for the Mets. You know, hey, we got our stars standing up for us. But again, you know, and it's a little different in the American League. But in the National League, he's got a bat. You know, and if you're going to start throwing at people are going to throw it at you. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
You need to let sleeping dogs lie. I don't know. You know, it's not like old school baseball, like back in the 60s, you know, where, you know, you would get buzzed is what would happen to you, you know?
Let's just see something here. Can we, let's see something. Want to talk about beer?
Okay, let's talk about beer.
I'm just waiting to see if I have anything here from...
about beer?
About beer. No. They don't have anything from... I had something from Carolyne, but I don't know. Okay. Anyway. Guess which baseball stadium has the most expensive beer?
Most expensive beer?
And it's not Citi Field.
Yankee Stadium?
No. Philadelphia.
Philadelphia?
And the reason is they have a 12-ounce beer.
Yeah.
That is $8.50. Most other teams are doing 16-ounce beers.
I see.
But they're doing 12. Who do you think has the cheapest?
Milwaukee.
No. St. Louis.
All right, well, that would have been my second guess.
The home of Anheuser-Busch.
Yep.
Okay. In Minnesota, they came up with something that I thought was kind of interesting. A self-serve beer.
Really?
Yes. What you did is, during the course of the game, you buy a beer card.
Uh-huh.
So let's say you put, $25 on it, okay? You can then pour beer at 38 cents an ounce. And every time you put your cup on there, and as you pour it, it takes the money off your card. But you don't have to wait in line. I guess you have to wait in line for whatever's going on there.
Yeah, I guess it's a good idea.
Yeah, well, listen, you know what? But if you only want half a cup, you only pour half a cup.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it turns out to be that like a 16-ounce beer only winds up costing you about $6.
Okay, well, that sounds good.
You know?
And where is this?
This is in
Minnesota.
Okay. But there's a catch.
There's always a but.
There's always a catch.
Uh-huh.
You would think that all you'd have to do is just lean your head under the spigot and do that for your $20.
Yeah.
Into your mouth. Can't do that.
What, that's illegal?
Yes.
Okay.
You can only pour 48 ounces of beer every 15 minutes.
I see. Okay, so you're on some kind of meter. Okay.
Right. So
well, they don't want you going out to the car and getting into an accident. You know, they don't want you acting responsibly.
You know what else you can get in Minnesota? They call it the hangover burger.
Okay.
And this didn't make our gastrointestinal Hall of Fame this year.
Well, how much was it?
But maybe it should have. I don't have a price for it, but it's 2 beef patties, bacon, cheese, a fried egg, and mayo.
Fried egg.
I don't know if I could eat. You know, my kids have had hamburgers with fried eggs.
Yeah.
They say it's very good.
Well, I mean, each his own. You know, I haven't tried it, so I can't say that it's bad. I just don't know if it's good. You know.
But what are you gonna do? Wait a minute. I heard somebody in the booth say hi, Carolyne. Is that good?
All right.
We might actually have her on the phone. What happened? I don't know what number I had. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I had this whole intro built up that I was going to read about you before you came on, and now I don't have time.
All we're talking about is beer. I don't know.
We've been talking about beer. We've been talking about anything. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Well, we're doing okay. We haven't talked to you in about a year or so.
Yeah, I guess it was February of last year.
That's right.
Right. We talked last year. I think you had just gotten back from when you were in Italy.
Yes.
And we haven't talked since then. I'm sorry. You know, we became, but we were always a sports show.
Yes.
But we became more of a sports show. And the reason why I have you on today is because we know what a great New York Islanders fan you are. Just say yes.
Okay, fine.
So how you been? What's been going on with you?
Actually, I've been fine. Doing nothing special. Raising my son, and I've been homeschooling him, so that's been kind of an adventure. And I've actually been learning a lot myself in the process.
Does he call you Mrs. Moss?
What's that?
Does he call you Mrs. Moss?
Oh no, I wish he would though. But it's hard. Believe me, it's hard. I think it's very hard, probably having your mother teaching you, because again, this. I wish he would show me the same kind of respect that he shows to teachers.
Yeah.
So it's very tricky, and I'm sure kind of difficult for him as well. But it's been a wonderful learning process. I remember how much I liked school.
Yeah.
At one point in my life. So it's been kind of nice.
So I know that you have a little sad news that you wanted to talk about today.
Yeah, I wanted to try to reach out to people because a very good friend of mine named Joe Phillips, he's a very good Facebook friend and a very good friend. He had been responsible for remastering from the vinyl the first 3 Mercury records, which I guess were sold as a double CD in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got cancer. He's dying.
Oh.
And I'm sad to say it's a terrible thing to say because you always want to have that last-minute hope. And the person that originally had pressed the record and put the package together for him has 50 copies that he will be willing to let go of gratis, so that we might be able to raise money to try to help Joe and help his wife. Because,
and these are vinyl copies, right?
No, these aren't vinyl copies, but they're made to look like vinyl. They're a double CD of all 3 Mercury records, Carolyne, Moss, Hold On, and Modern Dream.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And they've been put on CD, but it kind of looks like vinyl.
Right, the CDs look like
vinyl.
vinyl.
The artwork to make it look like vinyl. And it's a double CD, and they're going for $50 a piece. They're being shipped to me directly, and I'm signing them and then shipping them from here, but the money goes directly to Joe. I'm not. I don't have a link on my web page yet, and I think probably what I'll do is I'll be handling them individually if people want to write to me and get on the list. I've already sold a couple of them. I mean, not sold, but I have a few people on the waiting list. And then at some point with each person, I'll arrange individually where they can send the money directly to Joe, either by PayPal, by money order, or by check, so that it gets to them as fast as possible.
That'd be great. We have your website. We've been posting your website page on the graphic for you. So
yeah, my email address is simple. It's Carol Moss backwards.
Right.
I've been kind of using this handle since I was in high school. So it's Sam Lorac, SAMLORAC.
Do you know, it took me a few minutes to figure that out.
I got to tell you, I didn't figure it out until you just told me.
I was looking at it, because I know I've corresponded with you via email, and I just didn't think anything of it. And then all of a sudden, it came to me like a lightning bolt. Oh.
Right.
You see, my name backwards, since high school, we had an exercise in high school about spelling your name backwards. And my name backwards is Luap Inafalcacid.
I like it. I like it.
And my friend, my other friend, Mike Flanagan, he was Ekum Naganolf. Now,
No,
I
it
can't
sounds
tell you
like
what
Roman Johns or something.
I can't tell you what I had for breakfast yesterday, but I remember that.
That's unbelievable.
I don't know why. Ekum Naganolf and Luap Inafalcacid. So,
Jeez, who can even say that?
well, you know, when you look at your name backwards on a piece of paper, you have to come up with a pronunciation.
Carolyne, maybe you could write him a song. You know?
Yeah, mine was very easy because my name only had 8 letters.
Yeah.
You know. And that's how the Carolyne, that's how the L-Y-N-E ended up being added to my name, because people used to think that Carol Moss was one word, you know. My name is Carol Moss. I go, what's your first name? No, you don't get it. That's it.
So you're back in Arizona.
Yes.
Okay, and you were in New York for a little while.
Yeah, and I'll be going back again in the summer, but not sure exactly when. But I'm here and you know, enjoying kind of the space of you know, being by the mountains and you know, having all this acreage. It's great for my son to run around. And actually, we came back to take those tests that everybody has opted out of.
That everybody's opting out of. That's right.
We did opt out, and we did opt out as well.
Well, let me ask you something. You know, they're talking about that. We got just a few more minutes here. We were talking about, my wife and I were talking about the new curriculum, the Common Core. What do you think of that? Since now you're homeschooling your child.
I noticed it. Yeah, but you know what? The Common Core, you know, these little online charter schools are like gobbling up all these homeschoolers. You know, to try to get everybody on the same page. But you know, I noticed with his school, when he was going to school here, that they started to print on the bottom of like school programs were Common Core aligned, and all these publications are becoming Common Core aligned too. So there's a lot of money to be made in it. But it's constant testing. And you know, he even, you know, we do the program online, and but every day there's a test. Every day there's a test in English, and every day there's a test. You know, he's got like 3 grammar, literature, and something else in English. And he'll have tests all the time. And in math, he'll have tests, sometimes 2 small tests in a unit.
It just seems that that's what the parents are complaining about, that there's so much testing.
Yeah, I mean, it's stressing them out completely.
Yeah.
You know, and when I went to try to opt out of the test, since I'm homeschooling him, they told me that I wasn't able to because they didn't consider me being, you know, going through them as homeschooling. And I thought, well, gee, who's been spending all the time with him every day? You know, isn't this homeschooling? Then what am I doing here? So I'm not even going to go to them. I just joined something called Homeschool Legal Defense Association, and they kind of help hook you up with other programs, and you know, that you can do at home when you have actually say over what the curriculum is. And you know, it just wouldn't be online. Although there might be some online places that you can take advantage of that won't be Common Core aligned. Because I kind of had it with that, and I think it's not fair for him to be tested all the time like that. Because I think it's totally stressful.
And, you know,
I didn't know it was constant testing. I got to tell you, you know, because I thought it was, you know, it's trying to set a national standard, is what it is. I didn't see all that bad with it, but. I don't know. It's very controversial. You're right. A lot of different opinions. It looks like it's not working the way. Maybe, you know, it's not working the way people. Thought
hey,
it would.
We're out of time.
Yeah.
We're out of time for everything. Hey, Carolyne, do us a favor.
Yes.
Take us out today. Take us out. Tell everybody thanks for watching the Glory Days show, and see you next week.
Okay. Well, thanks everybody for watching the Glory Days show, and see you next week.
See you next week, everybody. Thanks, Carolyne.
Oh, thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
inravio.com.